John, like a super spy, dives through the fan, enters the elevator shaft, disregards the usual route, jamming it with a machine gun. His descent is like a slide, but the rope may snap any moment. He twists, desperately holding on. At a crucial moment, John locks onto the AC vent nimbly, then cheekily plays with fireworks bizarre. The man lights the turkey, illuminating the scene and getting caught by Carl upstairs. Sean creeps forward, while Carl rushes downstairs, suspecting the pipes are about to burst. Luckily, John is smarter. Casually, John prepares for a desperate confrontation, but risks joining Carl in the afterlife if he kills him. Then, news of the patrol cops arrives, making his heart race. They must check it out. Chubby patrol cop finds nothing wrong. John watches anxiously. After hesitation, Chubby stops the car. He enters the building. It's a holiday, everyone's off, everything's normal. John picks up a chair. Wow! The chair smashes the glass, and the robbers, hearing the noise, toss out 2 people. The chubby officer prepares for an investigation downstairs. At this moment, John faces off with the robbers. Guns not raised, one tries to persuade John to calmly talk it out like playing touchy. Just then, one behind is knocked out by a gunshot. Chubby patrols on while John ducks edgily. The building is buzzing with activity, but honestly, there's nothing unusual going on. See, everyone's just busy with their own tasks. After wishing Merry Christmas, Chubby heads out, but as soon as he's in the car, the robbers unleash a volley of bullets, clearly not wanting him to leave. John's efforts finally pay off as a fleet of police cars zooms in like they were in a Fast and Furious movie. The building is surrounded tighter than a drum, and Hans remains as cool as a cucumber, acting like a wise old fox. Clearly this is part of his plan. John knowing so much is beyond shocking. Clearly their opponents are formidable. John found cigars, detonators, and C4. Oh my, it's like a major sale. John's still investigating, meticulously searching like a detective, yet this building could practically be a fortress. He's just too excited to have caught a lead. He eagerly lights a cigarette, communicating via walkie-talkie, fading into the building's shadows, trying to reach the chubby cop. But there are others on the channel. John says there are about 30 bad guys, led by Hans, a real oddball. At this moment, Hans cares little about the cops. He must retrieve the detonators, the final key, like a secret weapon. Most are Europeans, in high-end brands, far from thrift store looks, with hefty forgeries. It seems they have made thorough preparations, and Chubby places a great deal of trust in John, possessing a special commitment between the two of them. At the LA, sheriff calls, thinking Roy's a terrorist in disguise. See, quite a stretch. Chubby disagrees, thinking Roy might be a cop, not from LA. Funny logic. In front of the boss, his word counts. He sees Chubby as a dimwit. They even contemplate sending people to rush in, causing Chubby to fume with anger to the extent that he resembles a kettle boiling over. Chief mocks him as a bankrupt stockbroker, driving Chubby crazy. The police turn on the spotlight, staging a big show. John wanted to relax, leaving it to them, but unexpectedly, at a crucial moment, a few were preparing to burst in, like playing an adventure game. But out the door, the spotlight shut down, injuring a few team members. The chief looks regretful. He feels embarrassed and sends an armored vehicle, but the robbers are ready with heavy artillery, acting nonchalant. As the armored vehicle reaches the door, Hans is gearing up for more defending, as if throwing a fun party. They don't trust him, so John returns to the shaft to tweak his strategy. He pulls out a C4 bomb, sticks detonators, lies in the elevator playing, ready to toss it from the 32nd floor. Then, boom. The 3rd floor erupts in a thunderous explosion. The robbers with heavy weapons are blasted. John didn't expect its power, leaving Hans dumbfounded and disrupting his rhythm. Most confused, the chief ignored Chubby's advice, suffering the consequences. The media, excited, finally took notice. Hans made the news too. John contacted Chubby. This time, the chief swiftly grabs the walkie-talkie and unexpectedly scolds John severely for his actions. At this moment, the driver, Blackie, happens to hear it and thinks to himself, "Hey, isn't that the passenger I picked up?" Blackie says to him, "A lot of people like you. You have to hang in there." That guy named Ellis, who knows what he's up to, suddenly turned brave, deciding to negotiate just when Hans is feeling good. Ellie steps in, starting off with some small talk. However, John is beginning to feel a bit scared at this moment. If his identity is exposed, his wife is in danger, but thankfully hot-headed Ellie's didn't spill the beans. He just hopes John can spill where the detonators are, so the robbers won't lay a finger on the hostages. John understands that Ellie's is walking right into a trap, as Hans demands the detonators, otherwise his friend will pay the price, resulting in Ellie's being taken out. Hans tells John by communication over the walkie-talkie that if he fails to disclose the whereabouts of the detonators, he will claim another life. At this moment, the chief contacts Hans, who self-identifies as a terrorist with demands for the US government. He demands the release of his comrades holding the hostages as leverage. The hostages here will be compelled to the rooftop of the building and will be flown together with them to Los Angeles International Airport, LAX. They'll tell police next steps after arrival. The chief thinks it's the robbers' demand. Don't worry, the federal agents have arrived successfully, and they are certainly not strangers to Hans' situation. But due to a shortage of manpower, he must personally seek the detonators. What a hassle. After all, Hans is the boss, pretending innocence and disguised as an employee. With a changed voice, John can't tell.